What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the Underground Labyrinth complete guide with the Overlord collaboration here. This is actually the special Overlord collab Underground Labyrinth, and so what we're going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be explaining everything that you want to be doing when going through the Labyrinth here. So if you guys enjoy videos like this, man, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate all the support on the channel, guys. Now with that out of the way, man, let's talk about it. So obviously Cocytus was the first character I picked off the rip. And yeah, I mean, you know, of the character options that they gave, Cocytus is the most recent character. Also, this collab Labyrinth is tailor-made for the collab character. So if you, like, you know, let's say you summon on the banner and you pull Demiurge, Nabarel, you know, Albedo, you can use these characters in the Labyrinth too, guys. And they will be, you know, on later stages, and they'll actually be very, very strong in this fight. And as you guys saw right there, I actually did get a lifesteal buff right there for Cocytus. And because it would be for Overlord characters in general, that one was a really good one because that was 50% lifesteal. That is a very, very strong buff right there. And then we actually did get, I was thinking between Zeldris and Fraudrin. I did decide on Zeldris as a unit just at the end of the day. He would be probably a little bit more beneficial. But yeah, no. Early on, man, like, this Labyrinth is pretty easy. I would say for the most part is very easy. And in this video, guys, I pretty much ran only Cocytus as my Overlord unit just to be as free-to-play friendly as possible. And once we do get to around the end, you guys will see how annoying this team eventually does become, because Cocytus alone unfortunately doesn't really do the greatest as much as you would think, especially in the later fights. But early on, he's great. You know, he's going to be a really good character to kind of start out with. But if you're someone that, like, pulled Albedo or even, like, Demiurge and Nabarel, like, if you get those characters still at the Labyrinth, man, just start replacing the rest of your units, and you can keep Cocytus on as well. But, you know, you definitely want those other characters on your team as well, guys. So, yeah, overall, I mean, you're not really going to be worrying too much about that. But yeah, I just kind of go through and collect as much Overlord collab characters as you can, and hopefully it works out for you guys. Another thing that you obviously want to do is the Guardian Stones here. You guys see I do go for the Attack Guardian Stone, and whenever you do get to these Labyrinth shops, those are going to be very beneficial because they help you for your you know, subsequent runs, right? Every time you do a run, you're going to be increasing your stats, and every time you collect that actual buff, it's going to buff either your HP, defense, or attack related ability. So that's obviously very, very strong. And yeah, right there we do take the Awakening Stars, as Awakening is more beneficial than Enhance, especially early on. When you're getting those, like, first few stars, getting the, like, sub stats is a little bit better, obviously, than just, like, you know, straight basic stats from level. So that is very, very important. And another thing I do want to mention as well, guys, is the left side will be giving you more rewards if you're trying to do it. And I think in turn that means that the right side is going to be a little bit easier. So if you're trying to get through your first clear of the Labyrinth, maybe do the right side, I guess, because it would be a little bit easier. The left side does provide more currency though, so I assume it is a little bit more difficult, but I decided to go with the left side the entire time in this video, so just kind of bear that in mind, right? But yeah, we do clear that little, like, fight right there, and we are moving into the first boss of the Labyrinth here, guys. So yeah, we do get the Overlord Light, so I think I decided to go with that. Because I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, we could just have like 80% lifesteal. Cocytus is gonna, like, pretty much full heal off of that. And yeah, right here, we do get the Revive, which no one obviously can get. And then I do gain the Guardian Stone again as well, which, as I mentioned, guys, you do want to keep stacking these up, and it is going to be the most beneficial for you. And then, yeah, right here, in terms of character picks, I didn't really have any crazy ones. I was thinking maybe Jericho Backline to get the crit chance increase, but we really decided not to go and do that. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we get a passive, and I saw there that we actually did get a decrease all enemies attack. And I was like, okay, let's actually take that one, because since we do have a full team of characters on the field, we are actually going to be lowering the enemy's attack, and they should do a lot less damage to us. And yeah, that's where we load into the first boss of the Labyrinth here, guys. So yeah, I mean, overall, like, the Labyrinth is not that difficult across the board, man. You know, the only thing you really need to worry about going through the Labyrinth, guys, is the later fight where you don't want to have buffs. That is something that I noticed, like, later in the fights, especially when you get to the final boss, which we'll talk about when we get there. But you do not want to run buffs, man. It actually was, like, very, very annoying, because I did run kind of like a buff-centric team by the end of it because of Cocytus. But yeah, it's just something that you don't want to do. But early on, it's fine, and as you guys can see, like, we're doing good. You know, Melacilla is giving me the shield. I get a little bit of amplified damage. We have, you know, Zeldris right there to do the damage with the single targets too. So yeah, no, a lot of this is definitely going to be fairly beneficial. And yeah, I mean, the main thing you definitely want to do on this boss fight here, guys, is rush Kakata. If you get Kakata, like, look how much damage that does. Right, we did like AoE, it was like, what, like almost like 170k, I think it was, like across the board AoE. So yeah, everyone took a lot of damage there, and we do move into the floor 2 here. And yeah, I guess what we'll do from now though, guys, I'll let you guys enjoy floor 2. We'll come back when I have something like important to mention, whether it's you know, a character swap or you know, a very important passive that we get or something like that. Yeah, I'll let you guys enjoy this part of the clip, and then we'll come back again when we get to a important part of the labyrinth here. Alrighty guys, so we are back here now on the Garrod fight. Specifically with this fight guys, there's something you want to definitely know about. When you do get Garrod less than 50% HP, she actually is going to get a full heal on you, so you don't necessarily like wanna, it's either you like nuke her or you obviously just lower HP, let her full heal, and then you kill her off of that. And I think I just kind of, you know, proc her full heal right there, and then we kill her anyways. But yeah, it's something to definitely take into account, man. This is a little bit of an annoying fight. And you guys saw, like, when I did start this Labyrinth run for the video, you saw I already had some of the Labyrinth kind of, you know, done like a little bit, and that's because I lost at this fight, and because the fight was like really annoying. And yeah, you know, Garrod actually will do a lot of damage on her ult. So if you start losing a lot of characters, you know, definitely bear that in mind. And you want to know that not the revive, but the full heal is a little bit annoying that Garrod does. But yeah, we do actually beat Garrod right there. And I think we do move into like the part right before the boss, if I'm not mistaken, or we have like another fight maybe a little bit after this. But yeah, obviously for the passive there, we go with HP. Definitely the best buff we can get from that. Yeah, so we go for the Guardian statues again. As I mentioned, guys, like Guardian Stone, you know, if you get as many of those as you can, regardless of the defense, HP, attack, you're going to get the most benefit. Here, as you guys saw, Shaltir was an option. But again, as I mentioned, guys, I decided to go with no Overlord characters other than Kakaitis, because you have to own the characters when you summon for them to be able to use them in the Labyrinth. So that's something that, you know, players that maybe if you're skipping this collaboration, you only have Kakaitis, maybe you're not really an Overlord fan at all, you're just like, okay, I just want to, you know, kind of clear this Labyrinth, then you know, obviously you follow this video and you'll get the gist. But yeah, man, just definitely take into account, like, when you're building your team around Kakaitis, though, that later in the fight you kind of want to, you know, maybe drop the character or build away from making like a buff centric team a little bit later on, guys. And you'll see when we get to the final fight that and I'll explain exactly what happened at it, that it becomes a little bit of a detriment. But yeah, man, I'll let you guys enjoy this, and we'll come back with the Gloxinia fight at the final part of floor 2, and then we'll move on to the boss at the very end of floor 3. Alrighty guys, so we are loading into the Gloxinia boss here. And so in terms of the Gloxinia boss, the way it kind of works is going to be a normal Gloxinia. He does have his commandment, so remember, whenever you do a double skill with a character, you're going to get attack lower by, I think it's like 30%. So it is a very major attack lower. But this is where Kakaitis definitely can benefit, because remember, you can cleanse the debuffs, and when you cleanse the debuffs, you actually are going to gain the HP from his passive. So he's going to be able to take advantage of that, and you'll be able to stack up a ton of HP, man. One thing I also noticed throughout this Labyrinth is having a character that has gauge reduction. You guys saw from my green Moloscula right there, having a character that can do that is valuable, man, like super valuable. Like stopping a character from ulting you is really important, man. From what I've noticed here, just being able to remove that ultimate allows you to do a lot better when dealing with the boss. And as you guys see, you know, we were pretty much you know, able to kind of steamroll Gloxinia right there. We really had no issues. So yeah, man, that's pretty much floor 2 right there, guys. I'll let you guys enjoy the floor 3 part, and we'll come back when we're around the kind of the end. You know, there's a lot of like stuff right before when we prep for the boss, and we'll kind of talk about that when we get to there. So enjoy this clip here, guys, and we'll come back right around the end with the final boss of floor 3. Alrighty guys, so we just got out the last fight there where we pretty much only had Cocytus, and now we are actually moving into the last parts of this labyrinth where we're kind of just collecting buffs and changing characters. And this is where I made a grave mistake, guys. I made a very huge mistake here. I did still beat this labyrinth, just to bear that in mind. Like, I still was able to do it. But guys, this is something you do not want to do. You do not want to build a Cocytus-centric buff team by the end of this fight, because the Riku boss at the very end of floor 3 is against buffs. I think he gets a lot more HP based on the amount of buffs you have, so he kind of just gets a lot more tankier, and it's really, really hard to kind of deal with him, man. And that was the problem that I kind of struggled with when I did get to this part in the fight, but you guys will see once we do get to it. But yeah, here I was just kind of collecting a bunch of buffs and stuff. When going into the final fight, we had to have all 4 characters, including the sub slot too, so I had to make sure that I picked a team here. And you guys see Trader Melly was right there, man. I was like, okay, I gotta do it, man. I also didn't really know whether or not like the buffs would be detrimental to my team at this point, but you know, I was like, okay, let's try running Trader Melly on the team. And yeah, I almost made this mistake as well, not to replace Liz right there, but I did, you know, at the last minute see it, and I do replace Elizabeth, and I just move Arthur to the back. But yeah, Merlin's still able to provide a little bit of basic stats, so I did keep her on the front. Yeah, and then right here we do get another Guardian Stone, some more stats, and then we do move into the boss here, guys, after we collect all these other like buffs and stuff. So yeah, man. Very, very difficult fight at the end here if you build a buff-centric team, man. Honestly, I would have made this fight a lot easier if I was actually getting the other Overlord characters, but because they decided to go kind of stray away from that and just mainly run like you know, Cocytus and alone, right? Because I wanted to do more of like a free-to-play-ish showcase. That was pretty beneficial. And right there, that passive, by the way, the Overcome Crisis, a very, very important passive that clutched me this fight. You guys will see as we go into it, but I have this on times 4 speed, guys, for this final fight because of how long it actually took. This is a very, very long final phase, man. And the way that Riku works is kind of similar to the event boss, but the way he does work is that he's gonna have the evade every time he does that like one buff skill, and yeah, you kind of have to watch out for that too, right? But right there, I actually did get the full heal. You saw Cocytus got really, really low. He got the all stats heal. And from this point on, I was kind of just stacking up buffs, guys, because I was running Trader Melly and Cocytus together and building up the damage reduction from Trader Melly's passive. And, you know, we were kind of doing damage, but you guys can see he was healing back pretty much every time I did damage, man. It was really, really annoying when I was going through that. And if you were just to have like Albedo on this part of the fight, even though she is a kind of a buff-centric character, her counters do so much more damage to Riku that you wouldn't even have to worry about this kind of struggle that I had to do here, where I'm literally spamming these amplified cards and we're still just doing no damage, man. So you guys can see that he definitely does more damage when you have buffs, and he's a lot more tankier when he has buffs too. So just a really annoying fight if you run kind of a buff-centric team, and that almost actually messed me up the entire labyrinth, and would have been really, really annoying considering I was recording this video hoping to get the clear, and luckily we did get the clear though, guys. But yeah, very, very annoying fight. Just don't run buff characters, man. That's the best thing I can recommend. Kind of just stray away from that, unless it's like Albedo. Albedo can still beat this, but like definitely don't run like Cocytus by the time this fight you're at. You know, kind of, you know, try and build like a team that just has good damage just in general, and it does not have to be buff centric. And yeah, I think you guys will do really, really good. Yeah, man, almost actually lost that, guys. We actually almost did lose that. You guys saw right at the very end there, man. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for the labyrinth right there though, man. I hope you guys do enjoy. Hopefully this video is helpful and you guys actually learned how to clear the labyrinth, and with all the tips that I was able to provide. You know, mostly a lot of it is just kind of, you know, knowing what buffs are good for your team and what team comps kind of work together. But yeah, man, that is pretty much the guide right there for the Underground Labyrinth for the Overlord collab. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.